Okay, thanks for coming over to this video from the lecture video slides. Once we finish here, I want you to go back to the lecture slide video on YouTube, and you can finish up what we're talking about. So I just wanted to go through the syllabus in a little bit more detail for you all. A copy of this is on eCampus for you to look through, but just to highlight some of the things that are on here that are going to be relevant. As I mentioned, this is an asynchronous course, so the course material will be posted every Monday by 9 a.m. You'll be working on your computers or your tablets or your phones or whatever electronic device you need to access things. If you have issues with that, or if your device isn't able to interface with the ways in which I'm presenting the material, please send me an email so I can help you make arrangements for other things. Office hours are on Zoom every Wednesday from 1:30 to 2:30 or by appointment. So if you can't make that time for the open Zoom meeting, then please let me know. A link and an invitation to the weekly office hours is on eCampus, as well as directly to your email address. Okay. So the objective of this course is for you to better understand the biological world as it relates to time and space using the principles of biogeography. Okay, we've already talked about in the lecture slides what biogeography is, and so what you're going to be studying. So we're covering a broad range of topics that should be really interesting, really important for navigating and understanding the natural world and your everyday world. And so I'm really excited about this course. So the learning objectives are as follows: applying the theory of evolution and biogeographic patterns. We're going to spend a fair amount of time on the theory of evolution because it's central to understanding why life happens where and when it does. We're going to discuss some of the scientific literature within the field of biogeography. These last two objectives are really important, or particularly important, effectively communicating ideas, opinions, and biogeographic principles through writing and some discussion, a little bit less than we normally would have were we not having this course online, but there'll be opportunities for you all to discuss things and to talk about things. And then lastly, understanding the impact of non-human species and biogeographic patterns. Okay, and so what we want to do is position ourselves as a particular species, as a dominant species on this planet, and to understand our impacts on the rest of the ecological biological communities. Okay, so there's no required text for this course. The primary material that you're going to be getting and you're going to need to be familiar with is through the lecture slides. There'll also be articles and multimedia podcasts and videos and things like that you'll be expected to review and be familiar with. But again, there's no required text for this class. All right, your grading breaks down very simply. There are 2 exams. Each exam is worth 100 points. There are a total of 10 reflections or activities throughout the semester, and those are 25 points each. And then your weekly question, there are 15 of those, and they're 10 points each. So the total number of points for the class is 600, and the breakdown for where your letter grade will fall out is strictly based on the number of points you have at the end of the semester. Some professors like to curve courses. Some professors like to have each section as a proportion of the total points, and for me it's just a lot more straightforward if it's simply about the points. Okay, so just make sure that you're doing all of your assignments and completing them on time. As you can see from this course, the majority of your points come from work that should be very within your grasp to get the full amount of credit. All right, so there's no reason, as long as you complete the assignments on time and as long as you answer the questions thoroughly, that you should come out with at least 400 points in this course, which would mean that just by doing the work that I'm asking you to do on a regular basis, you should be able to earn a D in this class. Okay, and so make sure you're getting your work in on time. and that you're not falling behind on getting those assignments in, because that can be the thing, but the difference between a letter grade at the end of the semester. All right. So looking at some of the material, again, lectures are going to be posted to the YouTube channel. There's a link here to the YouTube channel. This link will also be on eCampus. So if you ever if you ever have trouble finding where the course material is, you can come back to the syllabus here. I suggest that when you come to this page that you hit subscribe to the channel so that you're getting updates, but links will be available to you, and they're available to you now. As I mentioned, office hours are going to be an hour every Wednesday afternoon, so please come to those. I typically hold office hours on a one-on-one basis, so when you log into the Zoom meeting, you'll immediately go to a waiting room, and there may be other people that are there. All right. So what I will do is, if there's a backup in the waiting room, that I'll try to kind of let you all in. If you're comfortable with it, you can come in as a group. And if you want to meet with maybe you and a couple other of your peers, have a collection of questions that you want to ask for office hours, just email me in advance so that I know, and that way I can let you into the office hours as a group, and so we can all kind of get our questions answered. As I mentioned, there's 2 exams, each worth 100 points, a midterm exam and a final exam. The final exam is cumulative, but we're going to focus more on the final exam with the material that we cover after the midterm. Okay, and so don't completely forget the things that you're learning for the first half of class, because they will show up either in direct questions or in the principles that you need to understand. Okay. There will be 10, as I mentioned, reflection activities throughout the course. All the assignments are listed on the week of the course schedule that they're listed, and I'll show you the course schedule in just a little bit so that you can see what that looks like. But for example, a reflection that's listed in week 3, which is the week that starts September 7th, which is actually Labor Day weekend, will be due that following Sunday. That's Sunday the 13th by 11:59 p.m. So essentially, the due date for all of these assignments is the Sunday before the next week starts. Okay, so make sure you're getting that work in on time. Question of the week will be posed at the end of each lecture slide, and there will be a link on eCampus to the Google form where you will fill out that question. Again, for both of these assignments, they're about you checking in and answering the question thoroughly. I'm not grading you on whether or not your answers are correct, but oftentimes they're an opportunity for you all to kind of speculate and for you all to give your opinion and to express your thoughts and things like that. Okay, so don't worry about getting the right answer, but do make sure those assignments are turned in on time. Another note for the query of the week or the question of the week is that you must be logged into your Mix account in order to access this question. A lot of you all have Google accounts, your own personal Google accounts that don't end in edu or mix.edu, and if you try to log in and complete the form, you're not going to be able to do it. All right, and I'd like for you to log in with your West Virginia ID just so that I can make sure that everyone is completing the assignment, that I don't have to match, whatever Google Gmail name, personal Gmail name that you have to your actual account. So let's just make sure that when you log in to the question of the week that you're using your Mix account to do that. Okay. And again, that link to that Google form will be on eCampus in the eCampus files, and I'll show you that in just a bit. Okay. Grading policy: I don't accept late assignments. That's just easier for me in terms of being able to manage my time, and I know what I have to grade at a given time. And it's also to just make sure that things come in on time for you. So make sure you're on top of things. That being said, we're in the middle of a pandemic. There's a lot of uncertainty. Things change. So if there's any issue, anything that comes up and you need more time, or sometimes you just forget, you're juggling a lot of things, please communicate to me you know, a little bit about what's going on or what's your issue, and we'll talk about making arrangements for you to turn in things in a timely fashion. Okay, it's impossible for me to be able to make accommodations for you if you don't communicate in a timely fashion what the situation is and what prevented you from turning in something on time. Now, in general, I'll give you a week to communicate to me why you missed an assignment. If it goes longer than that and I haven't heard from you, then that's just going to be a missed opportunity for you. Okay, and so make sure you're getting things in on time. And if something comes up, please let me know as soon as you possibly can. Academic dishonesty, the university has a very robust policy about that. Please follow that. Social justice, the university also has a policy which I stand behind, and I talk a little bit more about exactly what the social justice policy for this course is in a little bit more detail. You can read some of the details here, and I'll talk about that. I'll talk about these details more in the lecture. Lastly, accommodations. If you're someone with a disability or anticipate needing any accommodations, please make sure you contact Disability Services and to follow up with them or myself to confirm that the necessary message about accommodations has been sent and received. Okay, so please take care of that. All right, and so that's the syllabus. It's pretty straightforward. Grading is very straightforward. The assignments are very straightforward. We're really trying to pare things down this semester so that things are a little bit simpler. Okay, so take a look at the syllabus, read it. If you have any questions, if there's anything that's not unclear, make sure you communicate that to me in a timely fashion. Alrighty, on to the next video where I'll go over the course schedule.